we wanted to be carried out in a box. You know, spend our last years here. And we don't know whether that's going to be realized or not, but we hope it will be. And so many things that we have incorporated in here is so that we can be here through our last years. And even if we need built-in care, every one of the units, the four condos that are part of this project, every one of them has an extra space that a caregiver could live in with. So
the beauty of this design philosophy called universal design is you're not just designing for the stereotypical old person in a wheelchair. You're designing for any guest that you might have who's temporarily or permanently disabled. So that's what we call universal design, making the house usable for all kinds of people. And I think something like 5 to 10% of the U.S. population at any given time is either permanently or temporarily handicapped. So
sale value of places that have these considerations in place is growing, you know, as people become more aware of this. So, you know, the economic consideration, again, the graph that showed the cost of assisted living care, the $40,000 to $90,000 a year, depending on what kind of facility you're in. The cost of doing a remodel and allowing you to stay in your house is a strong economic argument to looking at how that can be beneficial.
the code requires a handrail on one side of the staircase, but having it on both sides just gives you twice the help in case of a fall, because falling is one of the real dangers in this stage of life. And falling downstairs is like the #1 source of accidents in a home.
We wanted to pay attention to is indoor air quality. That's a health issue. It's a health, that applies to all ages really, but so we paid attention to the finishes, making sure that they were non-outgassing finishes. Most of the stuff has no finishes. All the plaster has no finish on it. It's a product called American Clay, but there are different ones. It's a natural clay material that breathes, so it helps modulate the humidity. When it's more humid, it goes into the material. When it's drier, the humidity comes out. So
there's going to be a ramp involved. I think the key is to make it architecturally fit the house and not look like some kind of institution.
People age, they're less likely to work on their own homes, and it can become a cost consideration. So as you're looking to remodel, doing things that are going to last longer than other products and require less maintenance over time, as you're choosing roofing materials, wall materials, again, good quality windows, good quality flooring, where it's not going to be a major project when it comes time to deal with those things.
Design this in, but if you could sort of, had an area that you knew could be cut out and dropped down in the future, that's the way to think. And then making the storage accessible. If you are in a wheelchair, the upward reach is really hard, but for all of us, the less bending and stretching we have to do, the better. And then having drawers that pull all the way out, as most modern cabinets do with extension glides, or cabinetry that means you don't have to get on your knees and fumble around.
we have what are called whole house vacuums, and I would strongly recommend these to you. They're in our basement, but they can be under your house or out in a little shed attached to the house. And so you don't hear them, and you're not running air through your vacuum that doesn't necessarily catch all the stuff, and some of it passes it right back through and out. So everything that you vacuum up goes down into the basement here. And all we have is a 50-foot hose that's very lightweight. There's one right by Karen at the corner there. They're just little wall boxes that you plug your hose into, and then it goes.
A lot of bathrooms are too small for a wheelchair. General rule of thumb is like a 5-foot diameter for turning a wheelchair. You don't have to do it that way. There's other ways of doing it, but curbless showers give you lots of options if you had a walker, or if you had crutches, or if you were in a wheelchair. I'll show you some examples of that. Handheld spray faucets And then in a tub, having a nice wide rim or ledge around the tub so that you can sit and swing your legs over comfortably with the help of a grab bar.
We like to be involved early on because, again, there's always a budgetary goal. It's, and we help to, make sure that you get some preliminary feedback on what your design goals are, such that, it doesn't get designed, then you put it out to bid to a contractor and realize that you've got to go through that again in order to walk things backwards. From early on in the process, we can sort of give rough pricing, which might be plus or minus 20% as the plans get more developed. Tighten that up, to the point where we're actually giving a complete bid on the project with everything included.